Saad bin Jung. What's your view? Do you believe that it's the right thing that every player has the right, if Surya Kumar Yadav, India captain, doesn't want to shake hands with the Pakistani captain, wants to send a message on Pahalgam, is it the right thing to do, or is it against the convention of cricket?
Rajdeep, let me answer that in a different manner. See, there are three fundamental issues in front of us. One is the handshake. Second is what the Indian captain has gone and said after the game. And third is this Lakshman Rekha between politics and sport. Now, this Lakshman Rekha, which has existed since time immemorial, that I remember, has been there, and it has actually ensured that countries which are in conflict, countries which are maybe at the verge of war, etc., get to play each other. That's what the line has done so far. But what's happened after Pahalgam? What's happened after the massacre of those 27 innocents and the way they were massacred? You know, it wasn't that they were killed in a war or there was a bomb blast, which is actually as bad. But the way it was done, the way it was planned, the way it was structured was very cold-blooded and terrible. So that Lakshman Rekha now stands completely squashed. It's abolished. It doesn't exist anymore. Now let's take the stance from there. Now comes the handshake. We didn't handshake before the beginning of the match. It's not that we waited to win before we decided not to shake hands. No, we took a stance before the match started. And we were very clear. We said, listen, chaps, you people have fallen too badly. None of you have ever spoken out against terrorism. And we refuse to shake hands with you who sit there quietly and support this issue. And I'm glad that Javed is with us and he's going to respond to this. Because unless there is going to be some response, there is absolutely no reason to shake hands. For what? What the meaning of shake hands is play within the spirit of the game and peace and friendship. There is none of that anymore. It's gone. That's the second thing that the captain has said, which is the captain said after the game was very simple. He said, listen, what am I saying? I'm dedicating this win to all those people that you've murdered. And terrorism is terrible. I stand against terrorism. He didn't say it in those words, but he meant that. And it's absolutely clear. I mean, for heaven's sake, there's a captain of India which has finally stood up and spoken about the truth. When there was match fixing, no one said anything. When there's conflict, no one says anything. When there's huge corruption, no one says anything. Finally, a captain stands up and says something which is absolutely fine, and it's real, and people are finding fault with it. What heavens for? He's absolutely right in saying, I dedicate this win to these people, and I don't think you should actually kill one more last line. And this line between sport and the line between politicians, which, I mean, who are we to say anything against Sunil, Mr. Gavaskar? But that line has now, which existed for so many generations, has now been abolished. So there is absolutely zero respect or zero line between us, and what he did was absolutely right.
Okay, so you believe what he did was absolutely right. Javed Qureshi, former Pakistan under-19 captain, why don't you respond to that? Saad bin Jung makes the point that Pahalgam means it's not business as usual. Pakistan's as cricket establishment, cricketers did not even show the empathy that they should have. They should have spoken out. The army state is what it is, but the players could have spoken out. Why should then India show the kind of respect to the Pakistan players if they don't empathize with a terror attack? Is broadly the point that Saad is making, and that the lines have totally got blurred between sports and politics.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. Yeah, look, yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, you know...
yes, I can.
Yeah, if the Indian players feel strongly, you know, then they should have simply not played. I think once you come on to a cricket ground or a cricket match, you play by certain rules and certain decorum. If you feel strongly about something, boycott the game, and, you know, we will have respect for you. But to simply expect Pakistan cricketers to show empathy, Pakistan cricketers are supposed to focus on their game, not to become pawns in a political game to show empathy or not show empathy. If the Pakistan team had won this game and the Pakistan players had made some statement dedicating this game to the Pakistan Air Force, I would have been equally upset, and I would have condemned that act. You play cricket, you come onto the ground, you play by certain rules. During the time of apartheid, and apartheid was pretty horrific. It was a pretty horrific thing. You know, Gary Sobers and Graham Pollock, etc., played together. Mike Proctor and Zahir Abbas played county cricket together. Garth LaRue and Imran Khan played cricket together. They behaved as gentlemen. There were serious issues about apartheid. But cricketers have, you cannot allow cricketers to get embroiled in this because there is no end to this. It's much better off if you feel strongly, don't play. I mean, why did India end up playing if they felt strongly about this? Don't play. That's my 2 cents.
You're saying that you're saying that that cricketers cannot bear the can for what our politicians do or don't do. You're saying don't target the cricketers. Is that what you believe? Sports has to be kept separate from politics. Is that a bit of a romantic notion?
No, it's not a romantic notion. If you feel strongly, don't play. Don't boycott the game. But once you get into the ground, you play by the rules. Mm-hmm. I'm all for using sport as a principle, but then don't play.
Yes. Okay, Shishir Attandi, respond. You've heard two very different views. Saad bin Jung saying Surya Kumar Yadav did just the right thing. Javed Qureshi saying once you come on the field, then you've got to be cricketers first. You can't be soldiers in uniform once you're on a cricket field. If you don't want to play Pakistan, don't play. But when you play, then play by certain conventions. Your response?
Yes, play by certain conventions, Rajdeep. Once you get on to the 75 yards. And if you don't feel that it's right to play, don't play. And I think if Surya has voiced an opinion out of his own choice, then I think the bigger thing would be to not play against Pakistan and say, I'm unavailable to play in this tournament. And I think everybody who believes that he shouldn't have been playing this game because of the sentiment and because of the empathy he had over what happened in Pahalgam, he needed to do the same. The fact is, the bigger question is, did this come out of Surya's heart, or was it a scripted statement that he was compelled to say? Because for me, it's all about players are really simple people. Cricketers are simple. They know only how to play cricket. They don't look beyond that. How to excel in their craft and make sure that they raise the bar for themselves as sportsmen. So my bigger worry is, is this a scripted piece that they have had to say because of the situation? Mm-hmm. But the bigger point is, if you feel so strongly about this sentiment, don't play. I mean, we are the powerhouse of world cricket. So if you really feel so strongly,
you're saying no, it's easier said than done than don't play, because there are certain global tournament rules. But what you're saying, don't allow the players to become pawns in a larger political game. But Ayaz Memon, as someone who's seen the game for decades, do you believe that it's possible? Are we all romantic somewhere to believe that players can be immune to the political pressures around them? And therefore, if Surya Kumar Yadav had shaken hands, he would have received a volley of abuse, maybe from those who feel that Surya Kumar Yadav is now reaching out to Pakistan. So a few months after Pahalgam. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. It isn't easy to keep politics and sports separate in today's world.
Oh, absolutely, Rajdeep. I think you hit the nail on the head, because there are the niceties of sport, and you want that to be kind of adhered to and accepted. We've seen that happen, but also it's happened in the breach of it. You've seen it happen in the Olympics. You've seen it happen on tennis courts. You look at what John McEnroe would do to his opponents. It might not be as polarized as it is in the current situation that we're talking about. But I think what I see from from like a distance view, I think India played it very smart. First, they participated in the tournament. There was a huge amount of debate whether India should go to the Asia Cup at all and participate in this cup. And then there was this, yes, we must participate, because otherwise you are putting yourself at risk for participating in the Olympics. So you made that gesture saying, we'll be there. We'll play Pakistan. But as you don't necessarily have to thump each other on the back. If that happens, it's great. It's happened in the past. It makes for a great sight that players are getting along with each other, win or lose, and India wins the match. And then I think they chose to deflect all the attention following their participation in the win on another matter, which has, remember.
But I ask But I ask, what has changed between 1999 when, if you will recall, Pakistan defeated India in a match in Chennai in a thrilling test match, and the entire crowd gave a standing ovation to the Pakistanis. It isn't as if there weren't terror attacks then. Terror attacks have taken place in the 1990s as well. So what has changed between 1999 and 2025 that now we don't want to have anything? If we want to stop the Indus Water Treaty, but we are going to play cricket with Pakistan?
I mean, look, it's a very different world we live in, isn't it, Rajdeep? In 1999, by 2004-05, when India went to Pakistan, had that fantastic series, which India won, the first time ever in Pakistan, the crowds came out on the streets to greet the Indian team. Indian fans and Indian media were, given free khana and pina everywhere else. So it's a very different scenario now. Even heading into this tournament, what the message was, not just from the fans, even from, for instance, in the political sphere, the opponents of the government at this point in time said we should not play against Pakistan. So that was the opposition to the team, but we still went and played. I think driven by an exigency, because you want to bid for the Olympics, you better make sure that you participate. So that was an important thing to do.
But let me take that to you, Saad bin Jung. Saad bin Jung, what has changed? Have Indian fan reactions and political reactions changed, or have the players changed? As I said, 1999, Ayaz Memon mentioned 2004. There seemed to be a bonhomie between players. Even in the 1980s, there was mutual respect between an Imran Khan and a Sunil Gavaskar. All of that seems to have changed. What has changed? Has the public mood changed, particularly in India?
I think, Rajdeep, what's happened over the past 2 decades or so is that because of the polarized politics of India, a lot of the youngsters have become Indian first, and they're thinking through India first. And I'm sorry, but I completely disagree, and I'm very disheartened with the point that Shishir, my good friend, made, is that the captain of India was coerced into saying things which he didn't want to say. So I think the whole ethos of today's youth is different. It is India first. It is that, forget the Muslim, Hindu issues, all those issues are gone. But what they feel for is their soldiers. What they feel for is the innocents. And I think everyone today feels what happened in Pahalgam was worse or literally as bad as what happened with Nazi Germany and the Jews.
So then why play? But Saad bin Jung, then Saad bin Jung, if you feel so strongly about India first, if blood and water cannot coexist, why should blood and cricket coexist? Then don't boycott Pakistan. You play Pakistan,
Rajdeep,
but you don't want to observe the conventions of the sport anymore.
No, Rajdeep, listen, this is a bilateral series. We're not playing one against the other. This is a bilateral series which is played on an international platform, and why should we turn around to the world and say we are frightened of playing them or we don't agree with playing them? We're going to come out looking bad. This is a bilateral series which needs to be played with a voice that we have to opine. We have to turn around and say we disagree with this, we disagree with what this team stands for, we disagree with what the players stand for, but we will play against them, and whoever wins or loses is irrelevant. And that's my point.
Okay, so you're saying it's a platform for Indians who are angered with Pakistan to air a voice. Quick responses from Javed and Shishir. Javed, you first. Does Pakistan appreciate the kind of anger Pahalgam has set in this country? This is a reflection of that anger and rage.
People in Pakistan, response was somewhat muted. I think Pakistan, I disagree with the Pakistan Cricket Board going after Andy Pycroft. I don't think Andy Pycroft has done anything wrong. I think the lady on the call made the point that, he has not broken rules or he has not done anything. So I don't think that is appropriate. I think this issue is now getting blown out of proportion. I think it should just now be closed and we just get on with life and get on with playing cricket. As far as the passion is concerned and wearing your patriotism
Is
on
it-
your sleeve, there's nothing wrong with that. But, I just think that there are rules. There is a game that you're supposed to play. There are, as I said, I go back to the same point. If the Americans felt that the Russians had invaded Afghanistan in 1979, they simply boycotted the Olympics. You don't participate in the Olympics and you go out of your way to snub Russian athletes. I just don't see how that works. And there's no
Okay.
end to this. I mean, are we now going to see the Pakistan
Okay,
players
let
do
me
the
give you
same thing?